Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Diablo series starting here on my channel. And today I want to talk about you. Well, not really you, more like the Diablo community as a whole, but you're probably part of the Diablo community. And this is what I want to talk about because I think we have a problem. Diablo 4 is slowly coming up, and I would say the community has never been more fragmented than it is now. And why that is and to what problems this can lead and already has created, I want to talk about today. So let's look at an average video game with a community. And we would just take Call of Duty here as an example because everybody knows it and you would get what I'm saying. So Call of Duty is a series which has been out for decades, and there is a new installment mostly every single year. 2023 will be the first one where it isn't, but till then it was every year we got a new Call of Duty. And even with this long-running series we have, and so many installments being available, the community is still very tight-knit. Yeah, sure, there are some people who like Black Ops more than they love Modern Warfare. Some other people love the World War II games more. Crazy, but still. And with that said, everyone is still a Call of Duty player. They are still a member of that community. And even after decades, whenever there is a new generation of gamers starting with Call of Duty, they will have a connection to the previous members of that community. So integration into the Call of Duty community is relatively simple. Yes, I know we now have Warzone, I know we have the mobile game, but all in all, the main bulk of that community is playing Call of Duty and is also playing Warzone, and so it is relatively easy to become a part of said community. You can start out with Call of Duty today, and after you played a little bit and you made friends or you met people online or whatever, you will probably become a part of that Call of Duty community, and you will have like a lot of topics and thoughts on the game, which is pretty similar to the other community members. That is a problem in Diablo, because Diablo is now multiple decades old, believe it or not. I know. But the problem is, Diablo came out in 1996. 4 years later, we had Diablo II, and it was still fine, right? Was 4 years in between, but people could easily join, they could easily make the connection, and they could easily become a part of the Diablo community. Problem was, after that, we didn't get a new Diablo game for the last 12 years. Like, the game came out in 2012, Diablo 3, and that means there was a whole generation of gamers in between those two games. And even more critical, the game was very different. If you compare Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 with each other, you will realize very quickly they're not really the same games. And you can really see that when those two communities and those two camps are actually clashing, but more about that in just a minute. Then Diablo 4 is coming out soon, and yes, I will ignore Diablo Immortal here a little bit. But Diablo 4 is coming out soon, and it is another 10 years between the games. Another generation of gamers will join the Diablo community for the very first time. And they will play Diablo 4, and there will probably be quite a bit of people who will enjoy Diablo 4. But they will have no connection to Diablo 3, they will have no connection to Diablo 2, and for them this is the first Diablo experience. And so then we will probably have like 3 camps of people who enjoy a different Diablo. We have the Diablo 2 players, the Diablo 3 players, and the Diablo 4 players. And that's a problem, because we can see it already. We have seen it with Diablo 3 when basically the Diablo 2 community or camp didn't like the game at all. Like, most Diablo 2 players hated Diablo 3 because it wasn't Diablo 2. And I am one of those Diablo 2 veterans. I have started playing Diablo with Diablo 1, and I have loved Diablo 2 because I also believe that Diablo 2 is one of the best games ever created and definitely one of the best action RPGs out there still to date. And Diablo 3 was a mess. I think that Diablo 3 was a step back. It was a serious step back in how you could develop your character and what you could basically do build-wise and so on and so forth. And I really, really didn't like Diablo 3. And yes, there will be an extra video where we are talking about this in the future, but I had some serious issues with it, and a lot of the Diablo 2 community had that too. Now, with that said, the players which basically came into Diablo and the Diablo community with Diablo 3 mostly loved it. They absolutely loved what Blizzard did with Diablo 3. And I think we will see a similar, predicament with Diablo 4 when that is coming out. That people would just point out, hey, this is not like Diablo 3. Actually, it seems like it will be a little bit closer to Diablo 2 again. But hey, this is not Diablo 3. I don't like this at all. And we can already see that a little bit. If you were going to any social media platform, you will see quite a bit of posts where Diablo 2 and even Diablo 3 players are already complaining that they don't like Diablo 4 at all, even though they have never played it. And they don't like this feature, they don't like what they're doing with the Battle Pass, and this is not their Diablo 2. This is not Diablo 3. And so they hate the game, and they're mentioning this every day. It's really unsettling. Like, if you were going to Reddit, you will see a lot of posts where they are talking about how they would definitely not play this game because it's not Diablo 2. I was like, what? Look, again, I get it. Diablo 2, amazing game. You even got Diablo 2 Resurrected. But the gaming world and communities moved on. Things changed over the last 20 years. Yes, Diablo 2 is over 20 years old. Oh, God. Existential dread. But no, seriously. It is old, and things have changed. Like, I see people especially complaining about the Battle Pass coming to Diablo 4. And it's like, I get it. You just want to pay $60 for it, and you want to buy an expansion at some point, and that's it. Thing is, that was 20 years ago. Nowadays, things have changed. And a lot of people accept this kind of stuff, even in their $60 games. It gets even crazier. Let me give you an example on how much people are okay with this. So, a few weeks ago, Realm Royale came back from the dead. It's a battle royale game by the Hi-Rez Studios, which are the creators of Smite. And they had a stream where they show like all the new features they are bringing to the game, and they are bringing back to it, and so on and so forth. And then after, I would say about an hour of talking about gameplay features, people started to fill the chat with a request, and one request only. Battle Pass. Show the Battle Pass. Give us the Battle Pass. Where's the Battle Pass? Hundreds of people started to post that. They wanted to see the Battle Pass. And that's the thing. Like, people, especially younger people, love the Battle Pass system. I'm not a fan of it. I find it a little bit stupid that you are paying for something and then you still have to play through it to get stuff. I get why it exists and all that. But that's what people like. That's what the gaming industry is okay with. What most communities are okay with. And you have to come to terms with it or move on. It is so weird to see when people are going every day to Twitter or Reddit or some other social media outlets, and they're complaining about how shitty Diablo 4 will be because of one reason alone, even though they have never played it. And it's like, okay, I get it. You really, really, really don't like Diablo 4 and some of their features. But move on. Like, there are enough action RPGs coming out in the foreseeable future. We have, what is it, Last Epoch, which looks really cool. We even have Titan Quest 2 being in development. We have, of course, Path of Exile 2. Like, there will be tons of action RPGs who will probably tickle your fancy. But I think it's also part of the community to just support each other where we can. And to make something clear, I'm not saying to give Blizzard the benefit of the doubt here. Like, if you have legit concerns, they should be named. Absolutely. And I will be the first one who will rip Blizzard a new one if I'm feeling that Diablo 4 is just not up to it, right? But for the information we have, I don't really think that you can blame Blizzard a lot right now. Sure, you can not like certain features, but Blizzard will not change those things just for you. They won't. It's just it. They will leave it in. They make maybe some adjustments to it when enough people are pointing out that it will not work out after they have tested it. But what you see is what you get. And if you really don't like that, move on. But I think the biggest problem Diablo 4 has, that the community of Diablo is now split apart. We have the veteran camp, we have the Diablo 3 camp, and we have the new player camp coming in with Diablo 4, and there will be a lot of headbutting. And I don't think that is a good thing for Diablo and the longevity of the game. So what can you do about it? I don't know, really. Like, as I said, that's the problem with a game which always takes like a 10-year break before the next game is coming out. Communities are just getting too much split up, and everyone has different expectations basically from what they want to see from the next Diablo game or from the next installment of said game. So yeah, not really sure what you can do about it. Maybe Diablo 4 will unite quite a bit of the Diablo camps, and then there will be enough content till the next Diablo is coming out to keep the game afloat and keep the community together. That would be pretty nice, but I think that's the only thing you can really do. With that said, we are at the end of the video. Let me definitely know what you think about all of this. And if maybe you're completely disagreeing and you're like, nah, the community of Diablo is completely united and there's no split in camps at all. Like, let me know in the comments. But if you enjoyed this video and you're on your way out, I would appreciate if you might consider to like it. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Diablo content, we will have like a weekly episode where we are tackling some of the Diablo issues and Diablo 4 information. And there would definitely be even more the closer we are getting to the Diablo 4 release. I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel, because it would help me out a great deal. If you love to watch live streams, I'm also streaming on YouTube from Monday to Friday, starting at 8 a.m. East Coast time. That is 1 p.m. UK time and 2 p.m. Central European time. Again, same channel. And we are playing tons of different games. So again, join us there, say hello, and we're also talking about gaming news. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, and I hope to see you next time.